In the grim darkness of the far future, there is only war. And leading humanity's greatest warriors are the Chapter Masters. These are legends who command entire Space Marine chapters, and in some cases, the fate of the Imperium itself. Today, I'm ranking the top 5 Chapter Masters in all of Warhammer 40k, based on combat prowess, leadership, legacy, and sheer impact on the galaxy. But before I reach the top 5, there are a few incredible commanders who just barely missed the list. First up, we have High Marshal Helbrecht of the Black Templars. Helbrecht leads one of the largest and most aggressive chapters in the Imperium. He is a crusader in the purest sense, wielding the sword of the High Marshals and driving his warriors into constant, unrelenting war. His sheer zeal and strategic aggression have shattered Orc empires and Chaos warbands alike. While his leadership style is less subtle than others on this list, there's no denying that Helbrecht embodies the Black Templars' eternal crusade. Next, we have Pedro Kantor, Chapter Master of the Crimson Fists. Kantor earns his place here not because of overwhelming resources, but because of resilience. After the near destruction of his chapter, Kantor rebuilt the Crimson Fists from the brink of extinction. Armed with Dawn's Arrow and an unbreakable will, Kantor represents the best of the Imperial Fist's lineage, stoic, selfless, and utterly unyielding in the face of annihilation. Another honourable mention goes to Kayvaan Shrike, Chapter Master of the Raven Guard. Shrike is the master of shadow warfare, lightning-fast strikes, surgical assassinations, and total battlefield control through stealth define his command style. While the Raven Guard will never be the largest or loudest chapter, under Shrike's leadership they are among the most lethal. If a war can be won before the enemy realises they're fighting, Shrike is the one who'll do it that way. And finally, we have Tushan, Chapter Master of the Salamanders. Tushan is respected not just by his chapter, but across the entire Imperium. He's one of the few Chapter Masters known to openly challenge other Imperial commanders when civilian lives are at stake. A master of flame-based warfare and unmatched artisan of war gear, Tushan represents the Salamanders' unique philosophy that Space Marines exist to protect humanity, not to rule over it. These honourable mentions show just how deep the Imperium's bench of legendary commanders truly is. On any other day, any one of them could make the top 5. Now, kicking off the main list at number 5 is Logan Grimnar, the Great Wolf of the Space Wolves. Logan Grimnar is everything you'd expect from Fenris: brutal, fearless, and unapologetically defiant. He has personally slain a Grey Knight's Grandmaster, stood toe-to-toe with Demon Primarchs, and openly defied the Inquisition, and lived to tell the tale with all of them. What makes Grimnar exceptional isn't just his combat ability, but it's his authority. When Logan Grimnar speaks, even Imperial institutions hesitate. He embodies the Space Wolves' independence and ferocity, leading from the front atop his massive Storm Rider chariot. He's not subtle, he's not political, but when war comes, Grimnar is exactly the kind of chapter master you want howling at the enemy gates. At number 4, we have Azrael, Supreme Grand Master of the Dark Angels. Azrael commands one of the most secretive and influential chapters in the Imperium. As the leader of the Dark Angels and the de facto head of the Unforgiven chapters, his reach extends far beyond a single chapter. Azrael is a master tactician, an exceptional duelist, and one of the few individuals entrusted with the Dark Angel's darkest secrets, including the Fallen. He wields the Sword of Secrets and the Lion Helm, artifacts dating back to the Great Crusade. Unlike many chapter masters, Azrael balances warfare with political maneuvering, keeping the Dark Angels powerful, united, and feared. He doesn't just fight wars, he controls narratives. Taking the third spot is Marneus Calgar, chapter master of the Ultramarines. Calgar is the gold standard for what a chapter master should be. A peerless commander, a master administrator, and a veteran of countless wars, he has held Ultramar together through Tyranid invasions, Chaos incursions, and galactic upheaval. He fought a Swarm Lord and survived. He crossed the Rubicon Primaris, and he governs an entire stellar empire with military precision. Some call the Ultramarines predictable, but Calgar proves that discipline, preparation, and overwhelming force win wars. He's not flashy, he's effective, and in the Imperium, effectiveness is everything. Now, number 2 belongs to a living legend, Commander Dante, chapter master of the Blood Angels. Dante is over 1500 years old, making him one of the oldest living space marines in existence. He has fought in more wars than most imperial worlds have recorded history. As Lord Regent of Imperium Nihilus, Dante now commands not just his chapter, but the defense of half the Imperium. Despite carrying the curse of the Red Thirst and the Black Rage, he remains noble, compassionate, and endlessly dutiful. Dante doesn't want power. He doesn't want glory. He wants rest. But until the Emperor releases him from his duty, Dante will keep fighting. And that quiet endurance is what makes him one of the greatest leaders humanity has ever known. And at number 1, we have Supreme Grandmaster Kaldor Draigo. Yes, technically, the Grey Knights are a chapter, and Draigo is their chapter master. And no one else on this list comes close to his raw supernatural impact. Draigo has carved his name into the heart of a demon Primarch. He wanders the warp itself, eternally fighting demons on their own ground, appearing only when the Imperium needs him the most. He is a myth made real, a weapon of the Emperor beyond logic, beyond mortality. While others lead armies, Draigo is a one-man apocalypse. When demons speak his name, they do so in terror. So who did I miss, guys? Who's your favourite chapter master, and who do you think deserves the number 1 spot? If you enjoyed this ranking, hit that like button, subscribe for more Warhammer lore and lists, and remember, in the grim darkness of the far future, there is only war.